Hi everyone, welcome to your EdPuzzle tutorial. I'm going to walk you through how to sign up, how to get your students on EdPuzzle, and how to make the most of your EdPuzzle subscription. So first and foremost, you're going to log on to EdPuzzle, and you'll notice in the search bar that it's simply edpuzzle.com. Once you type it into the search engine, you're then going to sign up. If you notice on the top right-hand corner, you're going to click on the blue sign up button. Once you click there, you're going to choose the teacher option. After that, you're going to choose how do you want to sign in with EdPuzzle for the first time. So they give you the option to either sign on with Google or to go through EdPuzzle. I suggest going through Google. So you're going to click on there. As you notice, my Kearney School's email already populates. If you have other Gmail accounts, they'll also populate here as well. I suggest using your Kearney School's email because it's also a Gmail account. So you're going to click on there. As you notice, it already brings me to the main page. However, before you get to this step, it's also going to ask you to choose your district. So I chose the Kearney School District. It'll also ask you to choose your subject area. And the reason why they do that is it'll link you up with other people in the Kearney School District that has accounts, and I could show you why that can be important later on. Also, you're going to have to choose a password. And before you can use your account, you're going to verify it. So once you go through the steps of putting in your password, putting in the Kearney School District and your subject area, it'll send you an email and you just have to click to verify. So that's how you're going to sign on to EdPuzzle. So now you want to import your students into EdPuzzle, and this is how you're going to do that. If you notice on the top, you'll see Content, Gradebook, and My Classes. You're going to click on My Classes. Once you're here, it's going to give you the option to choose how to import your classes. So I already have imported a class from Google Classroom, but I'll show you how to do that because I believe that should be the easiest way in order to get all your students onto EdPuzzle. So when you click on Add New Class, you can either create a class or you can go to Google Classroom. So my suggestion is to go to Google Classroom. So once you click on there, you'll see all the Google Classrooms that you're linked to. I'm not going to click on all of these. I've already clicked on mine. So once you do import, you'll click on it, you'll say import classes, and then it'll populate here. So once you go here, you can click on students and you'll see all the students that are linked in your class. You can hit on import students and it'll save your class for EdPuzzle. And you can do that if you want to do for multiple classes as well. Now we're going to get into why EdPuzzle is special and unique, and that's the editing functions that it has. In order to best use it, let's go through it. Let's go to the content. You'll notice that at the top right-hand corner, and it's the first choice. Click on content. Under content on the left-hand side, you'll see home, curriculum, Kearney School District, my content, and popular channels. I mentioned earlier when you sign up for EdPuzzle, it's important to put Kearney School District because once you do that, you'll notice the people that are a part of it from our district and the content that they're using. The reason why that could be important for you later on is you could opt to use some of the content that some people in the district have already used. And you'll notice all that listed here. And if you click on here, you'll see all the people right now that have EdPuzzle. Hopefully there'll be more after this video. So that's why that is important. Let's go through my content. And that's probably where you're going to be spending the majority of your time when you're curating or editing your content. So when you go over here on the right, you'll notice the add content. Let's just click on that to see what the options are. You have create a video, upload a video, student project, and new folder. So let's try by creating a video. We're going to try to create a video first by using one of the popular channels or engines that EdPuzzle offers. Like I mentioned before, they have listed here all of their popular channels. One that's used the most is YouTube, so let's click on there. Once you get here, you'll notice a YouTube search bar. You can either search with a keyword, or if you know the URL code that you're looking for, you could type that into here. I want to look up growth mindset. Once you click in that keyword, you enter it in, and you'll see all the choices you have here. Let's click on this option. So once you get here, you're thinking, oh, this is just a regular YouTube video. What does EdPuzzle have to offer? Let's go over the important and special EdPuzzle features. So you'll notice over here on the bottom right-hand corner, you have assign, copy, and edit. We're not assigning anything to students yet. Rather, let's edit. So when you click on the edit function, it allows you to cut, put a voiceover, or to provide questions. I will tell you right now that the voiceover function right now is only for your own videos that you upload. Right now, YouTube has it blocked. So again, if you click on this just so you see it, you'll notice here it says, sorry, voiceover is now blocked to comply with YouTube's terms of services. Upload your own video to record voiceovers. So to go back to the cut function, in order to best utilize that, the reason why that's there is to shorten the beginning or to shorten the end of your video. You can do that by dragging along on the bottom here. You'll see where the hand comes up. It'll allow you to drag on either end, or you can type in the time here of where you want to add your cut. So that's what the cut function's for. The one that I think is the most important is the question function. So when you click on here, it'll bring you to questions. Let's go over our 3 choices for questions. You'll see multiple choice, open-ended, and note. As you saw when I hovered over, it describes what each of these choices mean. We're going to go through them one by one. The most common is multiple choice. What you can do is watch the video ahead of time, and then you can decide the areas that you want to add questions. You can pause it and add your question. If you choose multiple choice, write your question, and then a good rule of thumb is to write the correct answer first in whatever box you choose, and make sure you click on the green check mark. So let's go through that real quick. So let's say you want to stop it here. In short, they will pause. And let's say you want to add a multiple choice question. So maybe you want to ask your question as, what is the difference between fixed mindset and growth mindset? You'll see here, the one that you put here will be your correct answer, again, because that has the green check mark next to it. Anyone that has the red X next to it will be considered the incorrect answer. And you can choose more answer choices if you want to make it more challenging for your students. Again, you want to always put in your correct answer first. You don't necessarily have to put it as the first choice, but just make sure you do that first so you don't forget to do that. So you can always change that here by clicking the green check mark, no matter where you put the right answer. All right. So now we have our question. I put in some answer choices here just so we can have that saved so you can see what that looks like. You could also choose to edit up here by bolding, italicize, or underlining parts of your question. And another 2 cool features is where you can add a link for students and you can add an image if you so choose to. So once you do that, you'll save it. It's mindset. It's mindset. So you'll see this little droplet right here. This droplet means that that's the question that you just added. So when your students get to that part of the video, it's going to stop and they're going to have to answer that question. The other thing that you can do is you can add notes. So when you click on a note, it'll bring you here just like before. You can pick the point in the video that you want to add a note. So let's say here you want to say, pay close attention to what is being written on the screen. Maybe just to put their attention on there more so than they may have before. You can do that. Unfortunately, like I said before, you're not allowed to do a voiceover with YouTube, but you could do that if you have your own videos that you upload onto EdPuzzle. So you can save that there. And again, you'll see here the notes and the questions that you're adding and the point in time that you're doing that. So in order for our child to move on, they're going to hit on continue for them to keep going into the video and listening to that. So let's talk about how you're going to actually be assigning these to your students. If you notice on the bottom right-hand corner here, it'll have assign, edit, duplicate, and delete. So we want to assign this to our students. So you're going to click on here. Then you're going to see here, assign to class and public links. So earlier, I showed you all how to upload your classes onto EdPuzzle. If you have done that already, you will see them all listed here. I only uploaded one of my Google Classrooms, so you'll only see one listed for me. So depending on who you want to assign it to, if you want to assign it to all the classes that you have, you can just check them off as they are listed here, or you might just want to check off one because maybe it's not relevant to the other classes that you're teaching. Then you're going to choose the start date. Let's say you want the start date to be tomorrow. You click on that. Let's say for your due date, you want it to be due back a week from then. So let's just scroll down. And you're going to save that. One of the best features I think that this has is to prevent skipping. EdPuzzle already has that as their default because I think they know that that's probably what people are going to be doing is to skip ahead on a video. Hopefully you haven't done that for this video. And you can also choose to do closed captioning. So that's not already a default, but I think that's always a good rule of thumb to have. So you can click on the closed captioning. So once you've done that, you could assign it. Oh, it's not coming up for me now because I haven't clicked on my kids. There we go. So you can assign it. So you can click to assign, or you could choose to do it later, or you could post it onto your Google Classroom. However, some people may not like something to get just pushed out of a website and they'd rather provide a link in the directions that they're giving for their children for that day. So like, let's say if you want to do that, you go to public links and you will copy your link and you will put it in your instructions that you have for your students for the assignments that they have. Show you guys real quick too what a student sees when they're taking the test with the video. So you see that this little icon is going because it is paused because we've gotten to our first question. So in order for the child to keep moving on, they have to answer their question. Maybe before they've gotten to this point, they're like, oh, maybe I should rewatch part of the video again because I wasn't paying attention or I don't know the answer to this. So they do have the rewatch option before they answer. So they'll answer the question, they hit submit, and as you see, they find out immediately that they've gotten that question right. If they got it wrong, they will see immediately too that they have gotten that question wrong, and they will continue. So you can see what the note looks like. Again, it pauses just like it did for the multiple choice question, and you'll see the note. Pay close attention to what is being written on the screen or whatever you chose to write for that point in the video for them to keep a note of. It's not a test or a quiz question, so they can continue without having to answer anything. Finally, we have our last question choice, which was the open-ended question. And here, your student will type in whatever the answer is. I don't know. Hopefully they do know the answer. So once they submit it, unlike the multiple choice, it will not give them an immediate response if they got it right or wrong. If you notice here, it says to be graded, and then they're going to continue to the rest of the video.
We need to talk.
Also, I just want to quickly show you what it looks like for a student on your Google Classroom once you've assigned your assignment. So here, you'll see the assignment here on my student page, and then they're going to click here, and it'll lead them to the video that I want them to watch. So you'll notice here it says it's EdPuzzle time. Class just got a lot more interesting. You're going to sign in with Google. They're going to sign in. I have a student account that I made there, and now they're going to watch the video. So now we want to see how our students have done on the assignments that we have given them. We're going to go to the My Classes, which is on the very top right-hand corner, and it's the third choice. So you're going to click on that. I was already in it. And you're going to check in on the assignments that you've given. So let's check in on this one. We'll look at this student here, and you can see how much of the video that they've watched, which is 100%, the time spent on the video, which was 8 minutes, when they turned it in, which was on time, and how many questions they got correctly. Don't forget, with multiple choice, like I said before, it automatically grades those, but for the open-ended, you are going to have to say whether it was right or whether it was wrong. And you can give a predetermined grade with that. It doesn't have to just be 100 or 0. It could be anywhere in between there, and you can add a comment for that as well. I also want you guys to also keep note of the gradebook tab, which is right next to My Classes on the top right-hand corner. When you click on there, it'll show the students that are listed. I only have one right now. It'll show their grades after you've graded them. So this could also be another important tool for you when you're putting things into your gradebook. I also wanted to show you on the student's point of view, when they go to check in on how they did on their assignment, when they've completed it, it'll show them what their percentage is and how they did. Finally, I want to show you a last quick awesome feature that EdPuzzle does have to offer all of you. So we're going to look at that through the content page. So you're going to click up there. It's on the top right-hand corner and it's the first choice. And let's look to see EdPuzzle's popular channel. When you click on there, you'll see all the videos that teachers have already uploaded onto EdPuzzle. Similarly to YouTube, you can type into here, maybe something that you're looking for. So someone has already done this on health and wellness. I'm like, oh, I want to do that with my kids too. This teacher has already added in their questions or comments, and you could decide whether or not you want to use these that this person has already done. Let's say you want to edit some of these questions. You're more than able to do that. So you can edit the questions that have already been put in here. So again, there's open-ended and there's multiple choice questions. So EdPuzzle is really awesome in that sense that, like, let's say you just want to find one that's already done and maybe you want to tweak some of the questions that are already there. Again, you'll just go to the search tab and you'll search to see what others have done. And I believe I mentioned earlier too, you can also look on the Kearney School District page and you can see what other people have done as well, and you can edit those. I do want to say for our final note that I did highlight videos that are already in EdPuzzle, such as searching through the EdPuzzle channel or through YouTube. But don't forget, if you go to your own content under My Content, you can add your own video. Similarly to the ones that are on YouTube or EdPuzzle, you can add open-ended questions, notes, multiple choice. And don't forget, before I said for YouTube videos, you couldn't do voiceovers. You could do voiceovers for your own content.